Okay, so firstly, apologies because I'm pretty confident you'll be able to hear the heater buzzing in the background. The fact that I've got the heater on in May is ridiculous. It is 6:10 on Tuesday evening. We are less than 2 weeks out from comp. Today is my final deadlifting session until comp day, so I'm kind of looking forward to getting that done. I am kind of looking forward to training today, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling pretty exhausted. My parents went on holiday early hours this morning. They had to be at the airport just after 4 in the morning. It is the local airport they flew from, so I was asked if I would take them to the airport. Obviously, absolutely fine with me. I stayed at theirs for the first half of last night, so I went to theirs yesterday evening and I slept at theirs until like 3:30 in the morning. And then I think we left theirs, it was close to 4 by the time they were ready to leave. And then I came straight home after dropping them off at the airport. I got home at like 20 to 5 probably. Coming home at that time in the morning, I had no idea what Zuko was gonna be like. I didn't know if he was gonna go back to bed. I was very much prepared to just start my day when I got home and just kind of suck it up and hopefully have a nap at some point during the day when Zuko was tired. But thankfully, after saying hello and being overly excited when I walked in the door, he did actually realise that I was tired and just kind of lay outside the bedroom door and just go back to sleep. So I ended up not getting out of bed until nearly 10 o'clock this morning. I did let Zuko on the bed, which I'm not supposed to do, for about half an hour before that. But he was so good this morning. My boyfriend got up for work and like let him out was normal and stuff, but he didn't walk him. That was my job to walk him today. Well, this morning, he's gonna go on another walk later on, my boyfriend, but he let me sleep in. He knew I was tired and I was very grateful. And to be honest, I was awake from about 9, but I was actually just enjoying having the opportunity to just stay in bed. So I did actually get a decent amount of sleep, but obviously it was broken up and I had a very productive day. The plan for today was always just businessy admin, stuff that I've been kind of putting off for a while that I need to get done, that's been stressing me out, but I haven't really felt like I've had time to do it because it's been like a little bit more lower priority, but still stuff that I want to get done. So I've had a productive day. I also got the report back today from the MRI I had a few months ago now that I've been chasing for ages to do with my car accident from years ago, which is the kind of trigger for my neck issues I've been having. And it showed, I'm gonna butcher this, I'm just gonna kind of go over it briefly. C2 and C3 and then C5 and C6 in my cervical spine have slight disc protrusions to the left, which makes perfect sense. Like I was confident something wasn't right here. And don't get me wrong, I don't think it's anything major, but I get so much numbness in my left arm. It hasn't massively impacted my lifting yet. Sometimes it is worse, but it keeps me awake at night. I mean, if you've watched these videos for ages, you'll have heard me say there's phases where I literally just don't sleep because my left arm is just numb constantly during the night. And that is still ongoing, but it's not as bad. And like, it doesn't necessarily keep me awake all night now, but pretty much every night I will wake up at least once and my arm will be numb, and then the first few hours of the day I have a lot of numbness in that left arm and it's just not great, but this explains a big part of that. So I'm now going to be getting referred for more assessments to actually talk about what's going on, but I actually have this MRI now, I have the results, so I can actually speak to my doctor / physio and get stuff sorted for that. Thankfully, I don't think it's getting much worse, but obviously I'm just noticing things linked to it. And I wasn't surprised to read that. So that is a little update there as well. And I'm glad, like, I'm not glad that it's there, but I'm kind of glad that there's a reason that this stuff has been happening. So yeah, anyway, I don't think there's any other major updates. Jane knocked my food down a little bit again this week, which is completely justified because next week will be my acute cut. I am also now logging my fluid intake for her as well. I mean, I know I drink roughly 4 litres a day anyway, but she wants me to just make a note each day of what I'm actually intaking in case we have to do any water manipulation next week as well. I had a fairly low appetite on my food last week, and I think a big part of that is the fact that at the start of last week I had a body weight spike just due to overeating when I was handling a comp all day, and I had like a KFC on the way home and stuff, and I think for a few days that made me feel quite bloated and just like I was retaining a lot. And then I think as my hair is blowing because of the heater, and it's really annoying me, but yeah, and then I just think the rest of the week my body was just kind of getting back to normal. And I mentioned in the last video I felt pretty like fluidy and bloated last week anyway, so because of that my appetite wasn't particularly high. So Jane was like, look, we'll just knock your food down a little, and I mean it is only a tiny bit, I think it's like 10 grams of carbs on both days, the rest days and training days, that we've knocked it down just to get me comfortably in the 85s every single day this week, and then cut from there. So it's just the easiest cut possible. And I was 85.8 this morning, which I did go over technically yesterday because I had a couple slices of pizza at my parents' house, but I was so hungry yesterday. Well, I was fine during the day, I didn't really have much of an appetite. And then I had a protein shake before I went to theirs, which was kind of technically my dinner because I had like a late lunch. And I got there and I was just so hungry, and then they had the pizza and they were like, do you want some? It was just like a Tesco's pizza. So I had a couple of slices of that, but I still had a new low weight, well, not new low weigh-in, a matched low weigh-in today of 85.8, which it was like 10 o'clock this morning, but by the time I weighed myself, but obviously my sleep was broken up, which can make a difference too. So we'll see what I am tomorrow, but I've been a little bit hungrier today, but it's fine. I just need to make sensible food choices and we'll be all good. But yeah, I don't think there's any other major updates. I think for the most part, everything's good, everything's fine. I'm feeling good for comp. I'm just feeling a bit groggy today and just tired today, but it's just I'm out of routine. Tomorrow I'll be up at like 7 as normal and just cracking on as normal. And yeah, all will be good. All will be good. I'm gonna stop talking though and just gonna crack on, get myself warmed up properly. And I will just show you guys obviously my lifts for the day. If they all move as they should, I probably won't recap too much because I am probably only be uploading one video a week at this point until comp. So I don't want to be talking everyone's ears off the whole time. So I'll probably just tell you guys if there's anything I think is worth reporting back. But it's quite a long session today and it is already like 20 past 6. I've been talking way too long and I don't want to be training super late.
We head for the sky, it's alright. Our wings wouldn't fly, it's alright. If we are crashing down again, pieces of love, it's alright. Scattered in mud, it's alright. You're giving me a lie again. And tell me what you want, this time I won't take it to the heart. Cause I know we won't make it out, I've heard it all before. Yeah, tell me what you want, let me hear that I'm the only one. You know that we won't make it out, we've heard it all before. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright.
Okay, so incredibly out of breath. Literally just finished squats. Said I wasn't really going to recap unless I can't talk, I'm so out of breath. Unless anything goes wrong. And nothing went wrong. Things just didn't feel great. My left shoulder still a bit niggly in the front. So as I'm kind of getting under the bar and in place, it just doesn't quite feel right. And then my bar position is just a little bit off because of that. But it still felt stable enough when I got to my top sets. Like on my warm-ups, I just couldn't quite get the bar low enough. 157 for 7 was mentally challenging, physically easy. So I just had to like go in confident. And I wasn't really in the mood to put the effort in, so it was very much a mental battle. And watching it back, everything moved really easily and really comfortably. There's definitely scope to go up like I'm supposed to next week. And it wasn't like an overshoot or anything, like it was a solid RP6 at absolute most, so it was fine. I just didn't want to do it, which obviously when you've got sets of 7 is not great. Back offset 130 though were like super easy, but I mentioned in the last video I am trying to take longer rest breaks just because at comp I'm in a 14-woman flight providing everyone shows up. And I'm not good at resting, but actually today I needed that rest. So I set a timer, I like started my stopwatch. And when it got to like 4.5 minutes, I'd start wrapping up and everything, getting ready to get under the bar. So I was probably having like 5 to 6 minutes rest between each set, which is still less than I'm gonna have at comp, but it felt good enough. I'm just very out of breath now, as you can tell. But no, squats were fine. It was just very much mentally switching on. I think because the last 2 weeks have been pretty easy peasy, just like going through the motions. I now need to switch on, ready for the rest of this week and then next week. But actually, this is probably the hardest session for me. Like week 3 is where it ramps up a little bit, and all the like the intensity was still like it was a sub 6 RP like top set. Like it was easy. It was just the mental thing of actually having to put the work in and commit to make it like move that easily. But obviously the numbers are creeping up now. Like 157 for 7 is still a little bit intimidating, whereas the last few weeks haven't been. And also I have that pressure of if I don't make it move well this week, then next week I'll feel even more stressed about making things move well, obviously in order for comp to then go well. But yeah, anyway, just wanted to say it was fine. It was just a mental battle and my left shoulder is still a bit niggly, but it's definitely better than it was at the weekend, and I'm sure it will continue to get better now that I'm actually resting it and I'm spending more time warming up. I'm also going to, and I'll talk about this more in more detail at some point, set a list of non-negotiables for after these sessions as well, but I'll talk to that at another point. But basically one of the things I want to do is really focus on some mobility work, which I've been meaning to add back in for so long because I always feel so much better when I do it. But I was thinking through like post-comp plans in terms of how I'm going to restructure my training, because I do need a bit of a shake-up, because mentally I am getting a little bit bored, which is obviously not great for, like, I'll still get the work done regardless, obviously, whether I'm enjoying training or not, but I want to enjoy it as much as possible, and I think it's just time for a little bit of a mix-up in terms of how my weeks are planned out. So I was thinking about it yesterday when I was driving to my parents, and I'm thinking on one of the days I might even go to the gym, sauna, and literally just stretch while I'm there, and not, like, maybe do some accessories and stuff, like a very short accessory day at the end of a main lift session, and then go in the sauna, do some mobility and stuff, because the saunas at the gym we go to are nice and they're always pretty empty, so why not make the most of that and just recover a little bit more there. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes and bench, so I'm going to try and have a little bit longer between each lift today. Well, I say that, I probably won't for deadlifts because I've literally just got a top single, so. But anyway, stopwatch, it started, and when it gets to 10 I will be under the bar benching.
It's alright, so let's move on. 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 We head for the sky, it's alright. Our wings wouldn't fly, it's alright. If we are crashing down again, pieces of love, it's alright. Scattered in mud, it's alright. You're giving me a lie again. And tell me what you want, this time I won't take it to the heart, 'cause I know we won't make.
Very quickly, because my camera is about to run out of battery. Deadlift's done, very happy. I've been feeling quite bloated all session because I ate way too close to the session, so that made squats and bench feel quite bad, but by the time I got to deadlifts that I'd kind of digested quite a lot, so it felt okay. 170, the lightest last pull I've done before a comp in a very long time, very, very long time, but it moved really quickly, felt really good, and now deadlifts can just enjoy the taper and show up on comp day, and I'm gonna pull a PB. Anyway, I'll chat to you guys probably Saturday when I do my primary squats. Okay, so it is Saturday afternoon, it's just gone 2 o'clock, so I'm now about to go out and do my last squat single of prep. I'm 1 week out tomorrow, and I've got priming bench today, and then tomorrow I've got my last heavy bench before comp. It's my normal block progression, so none of it should be too heavy. I'm a little bit nervous about the load on squats, but logically, I've repped more than this before. It's a pretty conservative last single. I think it matches my last single before British last year, and I'm a lot stronger now than I was then, so I know it'll be fine. I'm also training at a better time, I feel better fueled. I haven't eaten too much, where when I train in the evenings, I always feel like I've eaten too much before I train, and I personally prefer training on not an empty stomach. Obviously I want to be fueled, I want to feel strong, and I want to feel solid in myself, but I don't like feeling bloated in any way. So I'm now going to go out and train. I feel pretty good. I've made sure to be hydrated. Yeah, I had a nice dog walk with Zuko this morning as well, so I loosened off my body. I have been really struggling with my feet and ankles this week, just from walking him so much. Obviously now that he's a little bit older, we're doing 40-45 minute walks at a time, twice a day. I've been on most of his walks this week. I think I might have missed Thursday morning, Friday morning. My boyfriend did those, but my feet just aren't feeling good. If you've watched these videos for a while, you know I struggle with my feet when it comes to just not even a ridiculous, I've literally been doing 10,000, 11,000 steps a day. That's not an extraordinary amount. I'm a fit, healthy woman. That shouldn't be a struggle. But my feet are not feeling good. My mum did buy me some insoles for Christmas, and she keeps laughing at me because I still haven't put them in my shoes. But it's because the idea of having to cut them to fit my shoes, even though it's such a simple thing to do, makes me feel incredibly stressed. So I've been putting it off for ages. I have sort of said I'm going to be productive after training today, which is also why I wanted to train earlier. So the plan is going to be to train, come in, have some food, because it should be, if it's now 2:10 or nearly 2:10, it'll be 3:15 by the time I finish, maybe 3:30. So I'll probably eat and have my biggest meal of the day. And then I'll have a little snack and stuff in the evening rather than a proper dinner, just because I've been preferring doing that. Body weight this morning was 85.5. Now, I did have my last meal yesterday at like 3 p.m. So naturally I was going to be pretty light this morning. I had a protein shake at like 6:30 for like dinner. But I had a really large like late lunch at 3. So, I mean, it's just lack of organisation on my part, but that will have obviously made me lighter this morning. But I was 85.5 this morning, which is actually really good. The goal this week was to just stay below 86 as much as possible. Wednesday, Thursday, I think I was just over 86, and then yesterday I was like 85.7-ish on Friday morning. So body weight is exactly where it needs to be, ready for next week. I'm excited to see what Jane has planned for my cut into comp. It feels like, I was saying to my friends yesterday, like, I know how to cut weight. I know how to acute cut. I do it for clients. I've done it for myself in the past. But if I hadn't handed the reins over to Jane, I would start to feel stressed at this point about the fact that I'm 85.5 kilos, which, why would I feel stressed? Or like, but the fact that midweek I was like 86 point something kilos, like there is no reason to stress because that's a pretty comfortable cut. But because it would have been completely in my control to make weight, I almost felt like, I know I'd have felt stressed at this point, like in previous comps I have, where because Jane is in control of what I'm doing, she's gonna tell me what to do, I don't feel as stressed. So I'm feeling really good actually, and I feel weirdly calm that I'm competing next weekend. Like, I don't ever normally feel this calm about a comp. Granted, I don't feel like I'm competing, I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of just in a complete like zen state. I've really gotten on top of work this week. I've started being a lot more productive. My office job as well, so I now have a full month working from home, which is another like amazing thing that's just gonna help me with balancing my time a lot more. So I think part of me is also like this next month, like even though I literally go to the office 2 mornings a week, that's it. So it's not a lot of time out of my schedule, and it's not far from here either, so it's not a lot of travel, but it's just knowing that I'm gonna be home for that full month. I just feel a lot more relaxed about managing my time, especially as my coaching is still getting busier. So I feel in a really good place, basically. Like, bear in mind this time last month I was like the smallest inconvenience and I was like overloaded with stress, where now I'm like, no, things are good. I'm managing everything. I've gotten really ahead of my work as well, like all the little bits that I've been putting off, I've gotten them all done. So next week, all I have to do is just the general basic stuff with clients of obviously like communication, checking in, stuff like that, programming, but nothing that's going to cause me stress into comp. I've also got 2 clients doing the same comp as me, and their training is going really, really well. So I feel like I don't have to make my training go well to live up to that. I think actually having clients compete at the same time as me is also going to be really good for me in terms of distracting me from what I'm doing. So one of them is in the afternoon and then the other is in the morning, in the same flight as me actually. So her boyfriend is handling her, I think is the plan. We did speak about this obviously ages ago. But I think it's going to be nice for me. Like, obviously I'm going to try and just focus on what I'm doing, but I just know myself and I'm like, I'm probably going to be distracted by what other people are doing anyway. Like, there's other people in my flight that I know, like it's going to be a really fun day. And I think in my head, I'm like, it's just going to be like a training day when I go to this gym. So yeah, I'm just over a week out. Body weight's where it needs to be. Mindset is super calm. Don't get me wrong. I don't really have like the motivation in me to push heavy lifts right now, which is obviously not ideal. Like, I think in me feeling calm, I also am feeling a little bit lazy. I've also reached the point of like prepping as well, where I'm like, I just want comp to be done so I can change up my training, because I have been feeling stagnant in what I'm doing. Like, the thought of hiring a coach went through my mind just to hand the reins over to someone else and do something a little bit different. But I have kind of leaned away from that now, and I've just done more research into the method of training that I want to start leaning into, which I will obviously talk more about as and when it happens. I just have to make the decision of, do I just make changes after this comp leading into the English, or do I wait until the English is done? Obviously how my performance goes with this comp will determine a lot of that as well, and just how my lifts go. But I have been feeling in a little bit of a rut, I think, because last block didn't go great, which there were plenty of reasons why, like my neck being one of the main factors, which also my neck doesn't feel good today either. I've discovered it's basically when Zuko has a bad walk, like he doesn't pull a lot. But when Zuko does pull on his walks, bear in mind I'm obviously strong enough to hold his lead. Like, it's not like I'm struggling to keep hold, but if he sees something he wants, or like yesterday I went for a walk with my friend and her dog, he pulls more, right? Because he's excited, he's a puppy, he's a husky as well, like huskies pull. And I noticed, like, even just during the night last night, like when I woke up in the middle of the night for a wee, like my neck had really seized up. And don't get me wrong, like mobility wise is fine today, but there is a lot of pain in that area. Nothing like it was a few weeks ago. But obviously I completely went on a tangent there. Last block didn't go very well, mostly because of my neck, I think, and just like general self-doubt. But I feel like I'm okay right now, like other than the annoying neck pain, but I know I can push through that. That won't distract anything. It's not bad enough pain that I'm on painkillers right now. Like my body isn't trying to fight off and recover or do anything. Like I just need to go in and enjoy the session, which is also, I'm obviously putting it off because I've been sat here talking for like 10 whole minutes. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm just going to go and enjoy this session. Obviously the next video will be comp week. So I'll talk you through the weight cut. I'll talk you through any training I'm doing next week as well and stuff like that and what the plan is. And then the video after will be comp recap.
I've heard it all before. Yeah, tell me what you want. Let me hear that I'm the only one. You know that we won't make it out. We've heard it all before. It's alright. Hey, it's alright. Hey, it's alright. It's alright. It's alright, so let's move on. 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 It's alright, so let's move on.
Okay, so zero complaints about that session. Yeah, I felt good. Definitely felt better having not eaten as much beforehand. So, I mean, I know that for comp day anyway, like I would never overeat before lifting on comp day and get myself bloated anyway. But it's just another reminder that I need to train earlier in the day because I feel best for it. But my top single on squats, so I'm actually really happy with it. I know it looked hard, obviously it wasn't super easy, but anytime I squat heavy at home, like no one at home today, it's literally just me and Zuko. So if I'd have failed that squat, I'd have been stuck, like on my own, if I'd have hurt myself, whatever. And I'm very hyper aware of that. Like if I have a heavy squat normally at home, like I get my boyfriend to either come out and watch or I text him when I'm about to do it and be like, if you haven't heard from me in 2 minutes, come looking, like, because you don't know what's gonna happen. Like obviously I'm not lifting like crazy numbers, but it's still heavy enough that something could go wrong. And there's not really anywhere to bail safely in here. So anyway, I was very scared, and naturally, as I started the descent, intrusive thoughts kicked in, which always happens. It used to always happen with bench as well. I mean, I always have the safety set for bench now anyway, just like I leave them where they are and I don't have to think about it. But with squats, like the safeties aren't really going to do anything. And then very short on this rack as well, so they don't really come out far enough to do anything anyway. But basically, intrusive thoughts kicked in, and I was like, you've committed now, like you better get it. Like, and that's in the back of my mind. And obviously when you're doing a heavy lift, especially your last heavy lift of your prep, like, it's kind of scary. So anyway, I'm actually happy with that move because I think I hit depth. I mean, the front angle I filmed from wasn't great because my new tripod is really flimsy and literally just falls over constantly because I've got the shutter open. It blew over in the wind, so I had to put it really low. So it wasn't the best angle to check depth from. I think this camera will actually probably be a better angle, but anyway, I think I hit depth. I felt confident, which, I mean, even though I had the intrusive thoughts coming in, like I knew I had it. There was just that slight slow in the middle, but I also thought to myself, that felt better than 190 did at the British, and it was 2.5 less a week earlier. And my week 3 squats are always heavy and they're always bad, but somehow I pull out of the bag on week 4, and that's what I need to remind myself. I also had this kind of like epiphany moment where I was just thinking back to the British. So I did back-to-back comps, right? I did Commonwealth, 6 weeks later I did British, and my confidence at Commonwealth was a lot lower than it was at British, and I had all this pressure on myself for that first meet, which I've said before is kind of why I'm doing back-to-back meets again, because for that second meet, it was almost like the pressure had just gone because people knew roughly where my total was, so it didn't really matter what I did the second one. And I can remember at the British, my opener on squats at 175, it was just janky, like it moved terribly. And I remember saying to Lewis, who was handling me, I was like, oh, just load 190, like I can squat 190, it doesn't matter. And I had that confidence to still just take that planned jump to 190 anyway. And I need to go in with that confidence next week is basically what I kind of thought to myself, like, you need to have that confidence. And I had the exact same thing with bench as well. So obviously today was just priming bench. It was really light, it was really easy. It actually felt really good. I mean, the first set felt significantly better because I then literally took like 30 seconds and just got the last 2 done. And then my shoulder's feeling a bit janky, but my shoulder for squats felt a lot better. I was a lot more intentional with my like upper back positioning and stuff. So the bar felt a lot more solid, at least. On my rep work, by the end of the sets, it wasn't as great, but it felt a lot more solid anyway. And I need to remember that for next week. But yeah, my bench technique felt decent. It was just my shoulder was a little bit niggly by the last set, but that was just because I had really short rest breaks and I was getting lazy. So I'm not concerned about that. But yeah, I had the same kind of realization with bench of like, I remember at British, opened at 105, jumped to 110. And I had this sudden moment, like, because I failed my second on elbow depth. And it moved really well, but I failed on elbow depth. And I remember Lewis being like, we're not going up, just take 110 again, because we were in a battle for third. And like, if I had have got the 110, we would have gone to 115, like, it felt that good. But I remember saying to him, like, it's fine, I can get 110, like, even if I just sink it completely on my chest, like, I can muscle up 110. And now I'm, like, questioning whether I can do 110 on the day. Like, I don't know why, like, I've only gotten stronger. So basically, I just had this moment where I was like, you need to just get that confidence back for next week, which obviously I said earlier, like, I'm feeling really calm about comp, but I'm not feeling overly confident in myself. But then I was like, well, I really didn't want to lift today. Like, I would have been quite happy just chilling indoors, just having like a peaceful day. And I squatted 187, no one around, like, pretty calm. So I'm feeling good. Actually, that was how I needed things to move, I think. And yeah, I just need to remember next week, like, no matter what, like, I just need to go for it and just try. Like, next week is the fun comp, it's the low pressure comp. And then 7 weeks later is, I mean, it's still low pressure because I've qualified for British already, but obviously it's more of a competition because there's people in my weight class that are close to me. Technically they're ahead of me on nominations. So yeah, basically that was a good session. I needed it, and I just need to find that confidence back that I had for the British last year, which I know I'll have. And I know, like, having a spotting crew around me, I will sink my squats, I will commit to my squats, and I will get everything right, so all will be good. Now I just have to get tomorrow's bench done and then really plan through my attempts. I know roughly, obviously, what I'm thinking for them, but I'm not going to give too much away. But basically what I'm thinking for bench is mildly terrifying, but I kind of want to just go for it at this first comp, because if I don't try, who knows what will happen. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking, I'm going to head in, check on Zuko, because he was crying when I first came out here, which is not like him. I think he's been struggling since I've spent a few nights away lately. Like, I've not spent, like, consecutive nights away. I had, like, the odd night away for a couple of comps, and then I had a couple of nights at my parents', but they weren't back-to-back days or anything. And I think he now doesn't like it when I leave, which is not good, but it's fine. I'm going to go in and check on him and, yeah, get on with my day. And I'll check in with you guys tomorrow for my last primary bench day. Okay, so it is Sunday afternoon. It is 3:10. Had a very busy, productive day. I mean, it's not been that busy, to be fair. Basically got everything done that I needed to today already, so all I have left to do is train and then just chill out. Did some meal prep late last night, so haven't had to do any of that today either, which is obviously lovely. Very good day though. Got up early, walked Zuko first thing. I had a podcast booked in at 11, so I wanted to try and get the bulk of my programming done by 11 and replies done by 11, which I managed to do pretty much all but 2 before the podcast, and then I just finished those last ones off once the podcast was done. Went and did a food shop, had a snack, watched an episode of Gilmore Girls, and now I'm going to get my last primary bench session done before comp. So I'm feeling pretty good. Shoulders and stuff are a little bit niggly, but, like, it's fine. Like, it's not an injury, like, I'm not worried about it, it's just a little bit of a niggle. Mindset is still good, like, I'm feeling very calm and relaxed. Body weight, I was 85.7 this morning, so exactly where it needs to be. I'm kind of just calm, like, I'm literally just calm, which is very good. Like, I want to just enjoy it, and I think I've got quite a few podcasts booked in this week as well, and I find that that's actually a really good timing, because even my podcast this morning, so I was talking to Ziana this morning, who is the top ranked 84 in GB. She competed at Worlds multiple times, she podiums at Worlds, like, I think she came second last year, possibly the year before. Like, she's a really good lifter, and she's not done podcasts before, so I wasn't really too sure, like, kind of what to expect. And one thing that we spoke about was, like, her approach to competition and competing and, like, her mindset. And she was just saying how she's a very relaxed person. She's very much, like, in her own little world, you, like, focusing on herself and what she can do. You can only lift what you can lift. And as she was saying it, like, I was just thinking about, like, all these other episodes I've filmed for this podcast, and pretty much all of the top level lifters say, like, that sort of thing. Like, they say very similar, even though a lot of them will obviously see other people in their class doing these crazy things. That's not what drives them. Like, they kind of detach from that. And I think that's a really important message for people. And I was really glad we spoke about it today. And it's also kind of reminded me to just accept what will happen next weekend. And, like, I kind of needed that reminder. So it's very good timing for that. I've got an episode tomorrow with Joe Borenstein, although it is at, like, 9:30 UK time, and, like, 9:30 in the evening UK time. So that's going to be fun. I am normally in bed by, like, 10, but that'll be fine. Like, I've had him on before, and, like, normally I wouldn't book them that late with people if I haven't filmed with them before, just because I won't know kind of what to expect from them. But I know last time me and him filmed an episode, like, he was so easy to chat to, so I have no worries that this isn't going to be the exact same. And then I've got one on Thursday booked in as well, and then the week after I've got the Worlds preview shows booked in. So I am literally booked up until, like, the week after Worlds, I think. So that's good, very organised. And I'm looking forward to the conversations we're going to have this week as well. Yeah, feeling good. I'm in a very good mood. I'm in a very good place leading into comp, I think. So I'm feeling happy. Body weight is where it needs to be. Diet's been fine. All is good. Bench also felt really good yesterday, so I'm feeling hopeful that it will also obviously feel really good today. I'm just a little bit wary of my shoulders, but I'm just going to do plenty of warm-ups and just I'm actually going to spend some more time just warming up my shoulders and stuff. Also, the wind is blowing on the garage door if you can hear that, so apologies. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking and I'm just going to get bench done. If it all moves as planned, I probably won't recap too much. I'm just going to get it done, go do my accessories and enjoy my evening.
It's alright, so let's move on. Alright, so let's move on.
Okay, so maybe not the last heavy bench I was completely after. Everything felt fine. My positioning felt okay. I was just very much in protect shoulder mode, without meaning to be. So it was a little bit more tucked than it should have been. I also didn't put chalk on for my top set and my hands were sliding. I don't normally bother, but I haven't got the doors open because Zuko is kind of roaming around the garden and I didn't want him running in here. So hands are a bit sweaty. It's very stuffy in here. So yeah, basically not the best work I've ever done. And then back offs just felt a bit rusty, but it's fine because last time I had a bad week 3, I benched 115 on week 4. And this still moved better than that week did. So I'm not concerned. The 110 was still very, very comfortable. So yeah, basically it's fine. It just didn't feel great. It felt a bit rusty. Shoulder doesn't hurt anymore now. I'm just very aware of it. I just feel a bit, I don't know how to describe clunky, I guess, but it's fine. I've got a week of rest looking after myself. Obviously I'm training, but I won't be doing accessories, so all is good. Just gonna go do my last few accessories now. Keep them nice and light as well. It is just focus on recovery at this point. So yeah, I'm gonna go in and head straight to the gym, get that done, and I'll see you guys in the next video.